What's up, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of Lost Judgment. I think we are just messing around now. I don't think there's anything else to do. No new quest. No new noises. Let's, take this taxi. What was that? Okay, well that was nothing interesting. Let's go to the high school and check things out. Ooh, there is some stuff. Alright, well first things first, let's go see what Amasawa wants. Maybe I can get put on a different thing. Different club.
Amasawa.
What is it you wanted to ask me? It's now a good time. Once you start this side case, everything else will be put on hold. Yeah, might as well.
Yeah.
Thank you very much.
This is about my classmate. I should go get him now. Be right back.
Yoroshiku.
Nice to meet you. I'm Yagami, the advisor. Nice to meet you.
Hey.
So what do you need help with? Do you believe in things like curses?
What was that?
Sorry, what?
Well,
Just a preface. This case is going to sound either mysterious or ridiculous, depending on your answer.
So,
I know it's going to sound crazy, but you have to believe me. Just tell me what's going on first, and then we'll see how it ranks in with all the crazy things I've heard. The Curse of the Amasawa Family Heirloom.
Hey.
Do you mind starting us off? It's about a lucky cat I have at home. You mean one of those statues of a cat waving its paw, or like an actual cat?
yes.
The former. They said to bring good fortune, so you can spot them all in sorts of businesses. There are quite a few kinds. Most of them are said to bring good luck, but black lucky cats are supposed to ward off bad luck.
Oh.
I know they got that specific. Thing is, my lucky cat didn't do any of that. Doesn't bring money or good luck. It is attracts tragedies. Tragedies? This is it. Looks pretty old. My dad bought it from an antique dealer of his. Usually they're really expensive, especially when the pre-war ones like this. But my dad's friend warned him that this cat brings more bad luck than good. Why'd your dad buy it? He collects all sorts of rarities, especially the stuff with interesting stories. He goes nuts for those. Sounds like an interesting guy. But yeah, a lucky cat that brings more bad luck than good, I admit, that is an intriguing hook. The curse or whatever it is, evidence is starting to pile up.
Well,
Ever since acquiring that, they have been through one ordeal after another.
What was that?
Alright, like what? Pretty scary stuff. Dad got a really high fever, and it was touch and go for a bit, and then our house caught on fire. Potential arson and serious illness? You weren't kidding, that's scary stuff. My grades keep slipping ever since Dad bought the thing. I never once dropped below the 10th place like this. Is that really the statue's fault? Well, you can't blame me for the ghost. One woke my dad up in the middle of the night standing right there next to his bed.
Huh?
A ghost did. He was dressed like an old-timey soldier, totally pale, just stood there like he was at attention. But he kept moaning, "Give me back my cat." My dad thought he was dreaming, so he rolled over and went back to sleep.
Does that mean...
yeah.
I don't know, but the next day he was starting to feel awful. Like he'd been cursed.
I see.
That would be unsettling, even if it's just a string of coincidences. My dad's still not out of the woods now, and he's healthy either. He almost got run over by a car. It's still going on? That doesn't sound like a coincidence anymore, but I don't know what it could be. At this point, it's probably safe to further misfortune is inevitable. That may help us determine the cause before any irreversible damage is done. I'm telling you, it's the cat. Why even keep it?
Excuse me.
If you're also creeped out by it, why don't you just throw it out? It's my dad, he refuses. He says the previous owner was this famous author who met his demise because of the statue.
What?
So it was cursed even back then. Yeah, Dad said the guy died when he hit his head on it.
Are you serious?
That's quite a story. Apparently his whole fan base is obsessed with the statue. That's why it's considered really valuable. Who's the author? Well, Kitin Amasawa. He's a mystery novelist and my grandfather.
Huh?
Oh, you said hitting his head on the statue. So this was the actual cat that, you know...
Yes.
Well, only if this is truly the exact same statue my father owned. You don't know if this is the same one?
Well...
He has been missing ever since he passed away, about 7 years. Shortly after he died, the grandmother pawned it off. She always thought it was rather creepy.
I see.
You can tell from this picture, it's the same one as your grandfather's. It's hard to tell, it was 7 years ago. But I do remember that the cat was cursed. My grandfather was somewhat of a rarities collector himself, of course. He jumped at the chance of owning a one-of-a-kind, unlucky cat. He was famous for his somewhat bizarre tales of mystery. I can definitely imagine him wanting a statue. My grandfather was quite taken with it. He bragged about it quite a bit when I was little. But I'm sure he never imagined his life ending because of the unlucky cat. I'm not one to believe in the supernatural. All mysteries must be approached rationally, no matter how unusual they present themselves. That's what I firmly believe. Because logic is always found at the core.
That being said...
But that's also why my grandfather's unexplained death has stuck with me for the last 7 years. I assume the police ruled it was accidental, right? If that's the case, it kind of sounds pretty explained. No, actually, on the night my grandfather passed away, I also experienced a strange event. One that has no rational explanation, only can be considered a supernatural phenomenon.
What?
I'm not sure how to explain it. Let's just focus on finding out if this is actually the same cat.
Gotcha.
It's rare for her not to have words, but this could be the actual statue that took her grandfather's life. I can see why it'd be tough to talk about. I'm getting to the bottom of this case one way or another. If something causing all the tragedies around this cat, there's a good chance more will occur. I don't want anything as awful as what happened to my grandfather to happen to anyone else. Makes sense to me. After all, you're all about preventing incidents before they take place.
Yes.
This case is personal.
Yagami-san.
So would you please help me get to the bottom of this? Yep.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. Well, to start off, first things first, I'd like to see it.
Yes.
So.
I bet he'd be over the moon to have one of his descendants confirm if it's real or not. I'd give him a call now. He says, yeah, he'd love to meet you guys, in fact. Where should we meet him? Ask him to meet us in the cafe near the station. Blech. It'll be faster than getting him signed in the school reception and everything. Alright, to the cafe.
Yagami-san.
Cafe, cafe, we're going to the cafe.
I'm coming with you.
Wait. Outside of school, right? That's this way. If you're too slow, that's your fault.
Yagami-san.
Where the hell's Plag? There it is. Yeah,
Would you
that's
say that
all
you
the way over
tail
there.
people often?
I mean, it's a big part of the job.
Do you have any tips for avoiding the target's suspicion? I tend to get made fairly quickly when tailing.
What's an average high schooler tailing people for anyway?
I just can't help myself when I pick up a lead.
Kind of dangerous when you don't know your target, don't you think?
But in the end, isn't it worth it if I can prevent an incident?
No. Not if it's something that puts your own life at risk.
I somehow hadn't considered that. Oh, we're off then?
We're off. Keep up.
Yagami-san! You're going too fast!
Well, you gotta get on that track team, girl. So I'm out of here. Amasawa, stay back. They came right for us.
For real?
Oh, dang. Double kill.
And stay down.
And I got 5K. Come, Amasawa.
Anyway, I had no idea you had such a famous grandfather.
Are you surprised?
No. If anything, it's obvious that you're his granddaughter.
Well, now I'm feeling the pressure.
As a descendant of Kitan Amasawa, you should become the kind of detective that make him proud.
For that to be possible, I need to take on as many cases as possible to hone my instincts.
But what if you blundered into a case and ended up making a fool of yourself? Would that make Grandpa proud?
The more I hold back, though, the more curious I get. Once I've caught a whiff of a mystery, the Amasawa blood in me starts pumping.
It's quite a burden you wound up inheriting.
What's up, guys?
Really, guys?
Oh, we're off then?
Even better. We're here. Ah, you're his grandchild, right?
It's a pleasure.
Yes, nice to meet you.
Domo.
My son told me all about you. Thank you for being such a good senpai. I must say, I'm surprised seeing you for the first time. You definitely have that blood in you. You're like a heroine ripped straight from one of his novels. I can already tell you're not just some face. You're not just a face. You're smart too.
Huh?
Oh, really? Come on, Dad, cut it out. No, my apologies. And who's this with you?
It's Yagami.
Outside counselor of the MRC. I'm primarily a detective. A genuine detective. This is getting even better. The seasoned private eye trawling the seedy underbelly of the sea with his wonderkind teen sidekick. Man, I always wanted to buy the whole series.
すみませんでした。
Really sorry. Let's head inside, yeah. May we see the statue?
Yeah.
There's a squirrel! Sir! Did you know there's a squirrel behind you? I brought it to a taping of that TV appraisal show. They couldn't determine whether or not it belonged to him, though. But if it turns out to be the real deal, it's supposed to be worth $2 million.
Yeah.
I mean, considering its legacy, it's basically the holy grail to his fan base. $2 million.
Amasawa.
You think you could actually tell if it is or not? Please feel free to inspect it.
Huh.
Deep red stain.
No way.
Is this from when your grandfather... No, it's when I splashed ketchup on it when it was little.
What?
Yeah, he'd been eating a hot dog in his study and I got ketchup all over the room. Eating might not be accurate, more like swinging it around like a sword. I was really into historical drama.
Nah.
That being said,
But this stain, I don't know if it could be anything more clear to me than it is. I knew it.
Yeah.
You can get millions for this? Seriously? How about a score of a lifetime?
excuse me.
Sorry if this question comes across a bit strange, sir, but I must ask. Does this statue ever make noise? Maybe like a meow. So is my statue meow? What makes you ask?
Well,
Thing is, on the night my grandfather died 7 years ago, I heard it. This cat, it meowed at me. Are you serious? This is the supernatural phenomenon you referred to before?
Yes.
Hey,
Could you give us some more details? Sorry, I must know this. I know this must be hard. We must do it for the case.
Amasawa.
So you definitely heard the meow of a cat on the night your grandfather died.
Yes.
I have no doubt. I believe it was around 1:30. I woke up in the middle of the night to get a glass of water and passed by my grandfather's study. That was when I heard a meowing sound come from his room. Did your grandparents have a pet cat, or maybe it was a stray?
No.
No, they didn't have cats, and I would have definitely known a stray have gotten in. With Rampo in the yard, no cats could have gotten by him without barking up a storm. I distinctly remember the sound being loud enough to come from the room, not outside the house.
Seriously?
Well,
What's even creepier is I can remember my grandfather telling me more than once, when the cat cries, misfortune comes calling.
What was that?
I was given strict orders to never approach the study if I ever heard a cat meowing. That's why once I heard the cat, I ran back to my room and hid, terrified. The next day, my grandfather was... That must have been hard. If I had just been brave enough to go in the room instead of running, I could have maybe prevented my grandfather from dying.
Hey,
You were only about 11 then, right? Don't blame yourself for something that happened 7 years ago. Truly artful detective can solve incidents before they even occur. I wonder if your grandfather's own incident has anything to do with Amasawa taking that saying so seriously.
Amasawa.
yes.
The police came and checked out the scene. They said they couldn't find anything suspicious. Besides, it happened in a locked room. Not only was the door still to the study inaccessible, but the crescent locks on all the windows were still secure. A locked room, death, and a cursed statue. This is sounding more and more like one of his books. What's a crescent lock? They're the most common kind of window locks in homes. For a reason, they can get the job done. I doubt the windows were a point of entry for anyone that night. Okay. Since the police didn't see any signs of a break-in or even a struggle, they had no recourse but to rule the accident a death. The death an accident. So it's doubtful this was a burglary gone wrong. The unlucky cat creeped out of the whole family enough that my grandfather pawned it off. Unsurprisingly, the family lost track of the statue, so I never expected to see it again. God, is he gonna meow at us? They better not. Thank you for going out of your way. Oh no, it's my pleasure. Did you find any clues? Even maybe a lead? I'm not so sure. Oh, look out! Whoa! What the? Are you okay? I guess it wasn't secured all the way.
It can't be.
Was that the unlucky cat?
Unbelievable.
No way. Dad, when is it gonna take you to get rid of that? Even I'm starting to get freaked out. We should get home. Thanks again.
Excuse me.
Sir,
Please and thank you.
would you mind leaving the statue with us just for a little while? Leave it with you?
Yes.
Until we debunk the curse. Aren't you worried? The curse is gonna start looking pretty real deal to me. Grandfather once said, curses only blight their believers. Did he now? He also said you must never succumb to the marvel of a mystery. You must keep your wits about you. Despite my age, he imparted his philosophy of mystery solving to me before his death, and I hold the truths he shared with me to the highest regard. As his grandchild, I cannot back down to these strange events and turn away from a mystery. I refuse to believe in this curse. Therefore, it will have no effect on my pursuit of the truth. Not only that, this is a mystery that needs to be solved by an Amasawa. When I heard that meow 7 years ago, I ran from the truth, and the result was horrible. I'll never make the same mistake. If that's the case, I'll leave it with you. Please find a way to break the curse before something bad happens.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir.
Excuse me.
By the way, I heard that you brought the statue from a friend who runs a secondhand shop. Which one would that be? Ibisu Pawn, Jinsho. Alright, well now what? the pawn shop, which is that's Benton Pawn.
I'll be with you.
Well, let's go.
Okay, keep going. Wait for me, please.
Boom. Take a nap. I couldn't fake that one.
What a waste.
I had to plant him like a dumbass tree.
That way?
I'ma plant me a dumbass tree.
Yagami-san, you're going too fast.
Well then speed up.
Excuse me.
Is this a bad time? I'm from a detective agency. I'd like to ask you some questions.
Oh.
It's a pleasure.
I'm his assistant. You're his assistant, a high schooler.
Yeah.
No, not particularly. What is it you wanted to ask? We're looking into this lucky cat statue that he says he knows you. Ah, for Shimada. Would you mind if I ask, how did you first come to acquire it? This pawnbroker friend of mine closed up his shop, so I bought his remaining inventory. He couldn't vouch for the statue's authenticity, though. Well, we might know it's the real thing now. Maybe we ought to fill him in on it. That might make him miss the things. You don't happen to know who sold that cat to your friend, do you? Sorry, he told me it's been passed around a bunch before it ended up at his shop. He didn't know any specifics. Probably why he couldn't authenticate it. One last question. This might sound odd. When you had it in your shop, did anything strange ever happen?
Eh?
Oh, you mean the curse? No, I don't buy into that stuff. Nothing ever happened here to make me change my mind either. No, the guy I got the statue from never mentioned anything of the sort. Although I suppose he might have just not wanted to sound crazy.
Yagami-san.
Does this mean the so-called curse didn't begin until his father acquired it?
Yeah.
Sounds like that. Smoke.
Yagami-san.
Are you
It's
serious?
on fire. Ah! Got the fire out right away, but we seriously have no idea where it came in. It's just whoosh out of nowhere. Glad I didn't get any worse.
It can't be.
What do you think started the fire? Number of incidents around this cat is getting ridiculous. I don't think it's a coincidence. Do you smell gasoline? That means the fire was created earlier by arson.
Yes.
What do you say we search the scene real quick?
Yeah.
Oh, what's that? I saw that. Something right here. Yeah, it's like gas.
If I were to guess,
Yeah.
It goes all the way into the alley. Where do you see that at? I don't see any other little,
Suspicious.
plastic bottle, inside more gas
which
smell.
means
Yeah.
The fire at the pawn shop was actually arson.
excuse me.
How should we proceed with the investigation? Well, now that we know the fire at the pawn shop was intentional, what I'd love to do is pin down our little firebug.
What?
Yeah.
We don't know anything about it, but obviously they're after the statue. Maybe we can't just lure them out somehow. How do we start? Meandering around town ought to do it, considering how quickly the pawn shop was hit. I can't imagine it taking long.
Yeah.
It's definitely going to be more dangerous than I like. That's why you ought to head back. I think not. Allow me to continue.
Nah.
Please and thank you.
I need to solve this for myself.
Gotcha.
Keep your distance when we're in public. I'm basically a walking tragedy magnet carrying around.
Yes.
Alright, I promise. Where should we head to first? Probably that makes it easy to watch our backs while we kill time.
What?
Darts? You wanna play darts? Only one person has to take their eye off the surrounding at a time, and if someone does come after us, you can always counter with some darts to the face.
Nah.
I have to give you some points for the overall plan, but darts to the face. I'm actually quite good at the game. My aim's solid enough to hit a human head.
Nope.
Alright, well, I'm gonna handle the threats. You just don't say that kind of thing to anyone, maybe. After you. Alright, sorry, Amasawa, but I have to literally destroy you in some darts.
Let's do this, Yagami-san.
Let's go.
I'm the best. You're about to see a triple 20.
Yep.
Ah, shit.
Nice.
Still worked.
Yep.
Look at that.
Easy. Alright, you better do something good, because I'm going to win next round.
Yeah. Oi.
But say she's actually doing pretty good. Goddamn.
My turn then.
But you lose here.
Nice. Yep. Nice.
Look at that.
Easy.
You can't win them all.
There we go.
Not bad. Should I have gone easy? Oh, don't rub it in.
Amasawa.
See anyone suspicious? I kind of got into the game and forgot to look around. You seriously weren't looking? I guess I sort of got in the zone there too. Alright, darts didn't make for the best cover activity. We should shift gears. What would work better for us? The batting center?
What?
If I were to guess,
We'll be able to see if anyone's approaching us. In fact, this could be even better than darts. If one person does all the batting, the other can observe the surrounding without losing concentration. But even better, a bat makes for a much more effective weapon.
I see.
Well, I'll handle the defense part. Let's get over there.
Speaking of burdens, have you been studying for your exam?
I don't know where the batting center. Oh my god.
Exams?
that is something I try not to think about too much. Obsessing over rote memorization would affect my reasoning skills.
Well, I reason that you shouldn't let your club activities get in the way of your studies.
I admit that's also something I try not to think about.
That doesn't sound like the Amasawa I know. Gotta face the facts sometime.
No, stop it!
Oh, brother.
I'm coming with you!
Let's take a nap, sir. I hit his head.
Really, guys?
Oh, you're off then? Okay, keep going.
Great. More of them. Let's do this.
Ooh. Money.
And stay down.
100k. Good damn.
That way?
What a waste.
Coming with you.
Hurry up. Because we're out of here.
Yanami-san, you're going too fast.
いらっしゃいませ。ありがとうございます。
Wait for me, please.
Sorry about that.
And stay down.
Eat some for my health.
いらっしゃいませ。
It's pretty tasty. Thanks.
ありがとう
Item
ござい
drops. Hi, I'm drunk.
Okay, keep going. Please don't leave me.
Alright, let's look right into it so we don't look suspicious.
Yes.
Hmm?
Oh god, she's gonna...
Yes.
She's gonna forget again, ain't she?
Here we go. All right. Nice.
Oh.
Yeah.
Damn. Damn, what the hell? Bro. Our are none of these working? Oh, but that one is.
Yep.
I hate this. Literally none of them are going. Are you having an off day?
Ah,
Kind of weird. Usually I get more hits. Have some water.
hey,
Any luck on your end? See anyone? Seeing us somewhat suspicious people, but no one seems to be paying us any attention. Why don't we take a short break?
hey,
Can I ask you something? Is your grandfather the reason you started the MRC?
Yes.
Yes, he's the reason I grew so obsessed with mysteries. So do you see yourself becoming a mystery author in the future? Certainly hope so. More than that, I believe it's something I must do.
Yes.
Yes, truth be told, my dream is to complete his unfinished masterpiece.
oh,
You have an unfinished manuscript?
Well,
I do. When he passed away, he was in the middle of completing the final entry. He got roughly halfway through the draft, but he didn't write anything about the most crucial part.
that being said,
He didn't leave any notes behind that even hints towards what they could be, so no one even knows how he meant to finish the book.
oh.
I'll have to send you a copy some day before that one. Let me know if you figure it out before you can get to the end. Uh-oh. Excuse me.
Hey,
What's going on? Please keep eye contact and pretend we're just chatting.
huh?
well,
There's a man across the street who keeps looking at us.
Hmm?
He was at the arcade too.
What?
He followed us here.
yes.
He wasn't acting suspicious there at first, but later, when I took off with the statue and hid from his sight, he was looking around in a panic like he lost sight of something. You think he's been after us? Yes, I presume so.
Excuse me.
How about we take a bit of a calculated risk?
Yes.
If I stay here and distract him, would you be willing to slip out and loop around back to get him? That way you can catch him before he has a chance.
I see.
Yeah, solid plan. I'll get there real quick. Alright. I swear to God, if he hurts her. She's annoying as shit, but if he hurts her. Sneaky time. How can I sneak up on him? Oh, what if I use my drone then? Hey, who are you? Alright, well that's not the right case. How am I supposed to collect intel from a distance? You'll see me.
Oh.
The sky, son? I'm a bum.
Hey.
Who are you?
Oh.
You're with that girl. And you're the firebug at the pawn shop.
Yagami-san!
Just keep away. The cat, that lucky cat. Oh, do you want this? You want it because it's evidence, right? Because of what's still on it. You saw it? You saw it? Saw what, pray tell? Is there something on this cat that could put you away for good, perhaps? What? Excellent bluff. You led him right to where you wanted him.
Hey.
Now we have the final confirmation. So what's on this cat that could get you in so much trouble? You try to burn down a pawn shop over this thing. What's on the cat that you need so gone? Badly.
Hey!
Who knows? What do you know about Amasawa's death? I said stay back.
Ah?
Hand it over. How dare you? I must say, kick him in his nuts.
Amasawa.
You said you weren't suited for hard-boiled work. I suppose I rambunctious when I was little. You little fuckers, I'm just gonna have to kill you both and take the thing. Alright, now it's my job. Stay back.
Here we go. Let's go. Let's play.
That's a nice knife you had there. Don't touch sharp objects. Get up. Come on. No, come on, get up. No, I tried to throw him in the water. It wouldn't let me.
Hey. Nah.
He's out cold. Let's tie him up. That'll do it. Hey, we got all gross.
Yagami-san,
Considering how this man reacted to
If
the
I
cat,
were to
I believe
guess-
there was one secret to it we didn't know.
Yeah.
One neither your family or the police knew.
yes.
If that's the case, it's not going to be easy to discover. But I can't say there's absolutely nothing to it. After all, it's one of my grandfather's most cherished, rare possessions.
Yagami-san.
Why don't we give it another look over? Normally it's always in the back, but not this time.
Suspicious. What the? Hmm?
Eyeball jiggles a little. I can push it in too.
Huh.
The eyes are actually separate parts. Not so sure.
Hey. Ah.
There's a slight gap around the
What?
necktie. It's more apparent now that it has mud in it. It must have been from when I dropped it earlier. What could be in there? Jiggly eye and a gap around the neck.
Which means...
If the eyes and necktie, could it be an eye for the truth that will eventually find the way? Hold on to that keen eye and it'll take a good look around for
What was
you.
that?
Remember my grandfather saying this once, holding the cat. He said it with pride.
If I were to guess...
Maybe he was giving me a hint.
Yes.
Give me clues of how to pick up on a mystery.
I see.
Perhaps we're supposed to hold on to the eye and make the head go around? Yeah, he said we should hold the loose eye in place and spin
In
the
other
head.
words,
Hold the keen eye and make the head take a good look.
Yes.
Oh, the term. Arm. Look. Whoa, it just...
Can't be.
It meowed, so it's a trick statue. I bet this is what your grandfather was hinting at. Of course, no one in my family had any idea I could do that. The secret compartment. Look, it's empty though. A fingerprint. A dark red stain, all dried up. Yeah, no mistaking it. That's blood. Oh, I'm so screwed.
No way.
That fingerprint's yours? This blood. It belonged to Amasawa, doesn't
Hey!
it? What do you know about this? My grandfather. Did you have anything to do with his death? Oh, I see. You're that man's granddaughter. I think his granddaughter would be the one who caught me 7 years later. Answer me. There's no way getting away with this now. I'm just so tired. Fine, I'll tell you. Let's hear the truth about what happened. First off, the incident 7 years ago. I was past my eyeballs in debt. I needed a lot of money. That's when I spotted the biggest mansion in the whole neighborhood. I heard some kooky famous Arthur lived there.
It can't be.
So he snuck into the house. It's huge. All the lights were off. Figured I wasn't
That
getting
being
caught.
said-
But Rampo was in the yard. I'm sure he would have barked. He was too busy chowing down on the rice ball. Sometimes you're too sweet, Rampo.
Hey,
I went looking for his study as fast as I could. I assumed all the real goods would be either stashed away or on display. It was late enough that I figured everyone would be asleep. But when I found the study and peeked aside, I found the old man, just barely lit up with a candle. He fiddled around with the cat's head, opened the thing up, and it took something
What?
out. Inside the cat, the old man had a bar of gold.
Huh?
The way he was grinning at it, I knew it was real. It had to be worth millions. I jumped at him without even thinking. We tussled for a bit, so I grabbed the cat and whacked him in the head with it. Then he took the gold and ran off. Yeah, I thought I was going to be made for life, and then in the end, the goddamn loan shark just swiped it from me and pretended it never happened. How'd you get out? The study was locked. I panicked, offing the guy. This went from a simple robbery to a potential homicide. I made myself focus. I used the cat's arm gimmick to make the whole thing look like an accident.
Huh?
Should happen any time now.
Huh?
It closed. We built so it closes back up automatically. It sprang back up with surprising force. That's what I used. You raked it up to the window. Yep, it sounded like the apple didn't far fall from the tree.
Amasawa.
If I were to guess,
He stacked up some books next to the window and had the statue on top, with his arm lowered, mind you. I assumed he arranged the books rather unstably so he would collapse. By placing the cat in the right spot, its paw would shoot up and engage the window lock, sealing the room. He must have slipped out the window quickly after arranging it, and then waited, hoping to see if it played out planned. When the time arrived, shot up, it closed. Enough force to knock over the cat and the books. This window was right in front of the spot where my grandfather laid. The scene must have ended up looking like my grandfather had fallen and hit his head.
see.
which means
The gold bar must have been my grandfather's secret savings. It explains why he never told us about how the cat worked. And why he tried to scare me away from the room. Can't blame your family for never finding out. I doubt anyone would have checked for a secret treasure. The curse. All due to my grandfather took the grave. Finally I know the truth. Just like a mystery writer would hope. I really would have been really screwed if you were as smart as a kid. So why did you want it?
If I have this right,
I didn't know for sure there was fingerprints. You mean you did all this just to be cautious? Yeah, I was wearing gloves that night, so I wasn't thinking about fingerprints. But once I got away from the scene, I saw I had a tear in my glove, and the finger was covered in blood.
in other words,
So he left some trace. Later, I read the police ruled his death an accident, so I didn't know they found any prints. But that secret compartment could have been a game changer. There was a solid chance I had left a trace being in there. All it'd take was one person to figure out, and I'd be screwed. So I tried so hard to get it, but it fell off the map pretty quickly. 7 whole years, this cat's been on my mind. And then about a month ago, I saw the thing on TV. We did hear about it getting appraised on TV. Let me tell you, I was shitting myself watching the fancy pants appraiser looking it over with his magnifying glass. If he popped up in that compartment on TV. So you saw the current owner of the statue. That's when you tried to get back from him. So you're the one causing all the trouble. Probably. At first I tried sneaking into their place, but the guy woke up on me. And I told him to give me back the cat. He thought I was a ghost and straight up passed out. Well, he did say he started suffering a mysterious illness. Fever. Oh, that's no mystery. I had a cold that night. I must have given it to him. Tried to burn their house down.
If I were to guess...
Since the intimidation failed, you thought you could resort to torching. Are you the one who also tried to run him over? The one who caused the accident outside the cafe? You really are good. I figured if the owner died, his family would just get creeped out by the last one and they get rid of the thing.
Nah.
So what about his grades dropping? What about what? Yeah, and we knew that. Because they were so convincing misfortune fell upon them, even when the most harmless things were perceived as the part of the curse. Oh, we did it! Amasawa, we did it! Still can't believe it had a secret compartment, let alone a gold bar. At least I can finally chalk up a non-supernatural cause up to the meowing I heard.
Yeah.
If you think about it, the curse attached to the statue was just another layer of security. Not only did it have a secret compartment with a gimmick, but it also had an ominous story. Perhaps this amused my father enough to make one of his cherished possessions.
Amasawa.
I can see that. At any rate, I'm glad you were able to get to the bottom.
Yes.
I can't tell you what a weight that's been lifted off my shoulders, and it's all thanks to you. I don't know, you're really sharp too.
Huh?
Yeah.
Yeah, you're the one who figured out the trick to opening it. Not only that, you solved the locked room murder right after learning who did it. You know what? I feel like your grandfather was hoping you'd solve the mystery all along. Think about it. Why else would he ask you a riddle about the statue while holding it, if he wanted to keep it a secret?
What?
Maybe it was meant to be a gift for future you, like a prize awarded to the fully grown detective Amasawa. So I don't fall victim to lies and push past the fear. I can glimpse the truth. Sounds like my grandfather. The gold might be gone, but you can still grow to become a fine detective and solve a genuine mystery, like your father predicted. I'm sure he's proud of you. Oh, Grandpa, are you? Dun dun. Jeez, that was a lot. But now we got the robotics club on the next video. Let's put the thing down. Alright, so this is where we're going to end this video. I hope you all enjoyed this side quest with Amasawa, learning the truth behind her grandpa. So stay tuned for the next episode where we take on the robotics club and see what they have to offer us.